Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Raghuraman, ophthalmologist. We have started a new YouTube channel. It's called Doctor Next Door. In this, we'll be just discussing about the health and health related topics, small tips which will help in taking care of the health. So, first topic which we'll be discussing is no means no. It's basically about the gadget addiction, which is nowadays very common and more so during this pandemic situation. And it's about all the electronic gadgets, namely the mobile phones, laptops, tablets, and all these electronic gadgets, and how it is influencing in our day-to-day life, and what are all the problems it causes, and what are all the adverse effects, or rather what are all the effects which will have it in future. So that now if we are aware of all those things, we'll take care of few steps so that will help us in the future. So in this topic we'll be specifically dealing about the kids who are less than 5 years of age. So going into the topic, we'll first discuss about what are all the problems or what are all the effects which this mobile phone or tablets or these electronic gadgets causes. So we just broadly divide it into three things. Like one is it damaging the eyes, another one is damaging the developing brain, and another one is how it affects the overall health of the kid in this topic specifically. So if you take into the eyes, what is the problem it causes? So we just consider mainly about what is called as the blue light. Nowadays you would have seen mobile phones with blue light filters, with the night mode, etc. So what are all these for? See, whenever we use a mobile phone, we get the white light, and in that specifically, the blue light is emitted more, or the light which we see, the blue light is more in most of the Android mobiles. So, is it only coming from mobiles? No, it's not only coming from mobiles. Even in sunlight, you get the blue light. Sunlight is actually, we call it as a white light. It's a combination of what we say is VIBGYOR, violet, indigo, blue, yellow, green, yellow, orange, red. All these colors mixed together only we call it as white light. So you get the blue light even in sunlight. But why are we more particular about blue light coming from mobile phones? What is it going to do? And why not we get affected with blue light coming from sunlight? So it's all depends on two main factors. One is the distance from which that light comes, and the two is the amount of duration which we are getting exposed to. If you consider the distance of the blue light coming from the sun, it's quite far away, number one, rather than the one which is coming from the electronic gadgets, which is very close by. And another thing is the duration. We don't see the sunlight often or most of the time. But if you take the electronic gadgets, once the kids they start using it, they spend hours together seeing the mobile phones, playing games in that. So the duration is more. So both these play a very major role. And normally what is it happening? The blue light, happens is, normally we have the lens in our eyes which will filter the blue light before it enters into that of the retina, which is the main area of the eye which forms the image of whatever you see. So in kids specifically, what happens is the lens is not fully mature. So the lens is not able to filter the blue light much as that of the adult, and so compared to the adult, more amount of blue light enters the eyes of the kid. So in addition to that, if we just increase the duration of exposure and also the closeness of the object or the source, the problem is going to be much more. So it damages the retina. So the chances of the vision coming down in the future for the kid is more. Is it the only thing which damages the eyes? No. It causes some other problems also to the eyes. What is that? Being having the mobile for such a short distance, it also causes the problem called as fusion weakness. What is that? Suppose you look at a distant object and then suddenly you look at something nearby. Your eyes have to accommodate or to just converge in order to look at it. So that the muscles have to accommodate or adjust accordingly to see that. So when the kid or children, they keep seeing the mobile or laptops or tabs for a long time nearby, that muscles become very lazy or they lose that accommodating power. So they will have the problem of fusion. So when they look at something distant and then something nearby, it will be difficult for them. Sometimes they'll see it as double. So that we call it as fusion weakness. And this is one more thing. Another thing is the chances that in future they can go in for wearing glasses for distance vision, the myopic power. So all these are the problems with eyes. Then if we go into the developing brain, what is that which causes? See, we are going to mainly consider about one particular thing called as frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the portion of the brain which doesn't get fully developed at birth. It keeps developing even after the child is born, and few years also it develops, and at around teenage period it gets completed. So till then, as parents, how can we just nurture it? So before looking into that, we should know what are all the functions of the particular portion of the brain. So one is it helps in creative thinking. Now, previous days and all, we have seen people or parents who will be just reading the books for the kids and stories for the kids, and the kids will be imagining things like these are all trees and this is like birds and lots more. Nowadays, we give so that imagination everything comes for the kid, and future they'll have the ability of creative thinking. But now we provide everything in mobile phones and tablets, so the child loses its power of creativity. So the future creative or imaginative thing doesn't happen for the kid. That is one drawback. And not only that, this portion of the brain also helps in emotions, empathy. So, like suppose the parents are feeling happy or feeling sad, the child is seeing at them, so they will also understand what are the things happening. So, it's basically like the child does what parents do. It is called as like a mirror. So the parents are the mirror. When the child looks at the parent, it does the same thing. So when the parents talk good things, it all will go for the kid. When they just see good things, the child will learn also the same. The same way, the child will be motivated to look at the good things, to hear the good things and everything. So in that way, only if we keep interacting with the kid, this all will develop, and this portion of the neurons or the nerves will develop. So rather than doing that, if we are giving the mobile phones or tabs to the kid and make them sit at one corner, and if they keep on looking at it, it's not going to help in any way in just developing that portion of the brain. So that is also getting affected. And another thing is, like, if we make them sit there, it also interferes with their speech and hearing. Like we have already seen, like the amount of time we spend with the kid, the more we talk with the kid, then only the speech will come early for the kid. So if we just don't do that and we give a mobile phone and it just keeps looking at it, how will the speech develop? And the same thing with hearing. As the child talks with parents or we talk with the kid, it hears, so the hearing also will improve. So without doing that, all this gets affected. And moreover, we parents have to just take steps in order to just overcome all these things. Because I have seen many patients, they just say that their kids are always using the mobile phones. So I first blame the parents only, because it's the parents who are giving the mobile phones to the kids. So they can avoid it very easily. Some say that we keep it somewhere, but the kids are coming and taking it. You can keep it at some distance where they don't take it, or use some screen lock and everything so that they don't take it. So all these are simple reasons to just push the what to say, so divert the topic. So it's not going to help in any way. The person who's going to suffer is the kid. So we have seen many kids with this problem, and that's why wanted to bring this into limelight. So in that way, that portion of the developing brain also gets affected. And another thing is the child should be motivated to for social interacting games. So it should be made to play with the other children, and even the parents should keep playing. So only if they keep playing, they'll know the emotions, like what will be like winning, what will be like losing, everything. Suppose they don't go for play, they just keep addicted with the mobile, they won't know the expression. They won't be able to accept the winning things, or the more than the winning, they won't be able to accept the losing thing in the future. So once they just lose something, they won't be able to accept it. We don't know how will they react in the future. So such type of habit should be brought in the or cultivated in the small age group itself. So that is one thing. And such children, no, if we don't make them play, they just gradually they keep addicted to mobile phones, or they keep sitting at one corner. Suddenly later on, at one stage of life, they'll express everything in excess, like more than what they do. They just be hyperactive. So it just reflects in the form of attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD we say. It's a form of hyperactivity. They'll be just roaming here, there, throwing away things. So it's all a form of emotions, bringing out whatever is being packed inside these days without expressing it. So it's a form of expressing out things. So it's all to be brought out at the correct time. So then it will go on smoothly. So such problems comes with the brain. Not only that, mobile phones, another thing is the radio frequency radiation. So it is the when we talk over the phone, the whatever the radiation which goes into the ear and hence into the brain, so that is this radio frequency radiation. So usually for adults it doesn't cause much problem, but for children the thing is the skull bone is very thin, and the brain tissue is also little soft, not like that of the adult. So the chances of absorbing more radiation than the adult is there for the kid. So that also has an influence on the developing brain. So in this way it affects the brain. So that is one thing. And another thing is, and simply like we have seen many people who are doing the desk jobs, or who are just sitting and doing the job for a long time. We say it's a sedentary lifestyle. Same happens with the kids when they keep sitting with the mobile phones or tabs and playing for a long time. They go for sedentary lifestyle. Automatically the chances of putting on weight is more. So future they have high chance of becoming obese. Not only that, it also disturbs their, by disturbing their eyes, it also disturbs their sleep. The sleep pattern gets disturbed. They all often have headaches. So many problems are happening. So the problems are more with these electronic gadgets. The severity is becoming more day by day. But it's, as parents, we have to take few steps to overcome this. So how does it start, all these things? So people, usually we have seen people, they saying that we start giving these mobile phones only during the time when we give the food, and then later on we don't give. So it starts like that only. So why they would they want to give the mobile phones for giving the food? Try for some other alternative. Take them out to some balcony, show them some natural sceneries, some birds or some trees, something nearby. Just, or take them to the terrace, show something there in the open area. They'll be just roaming here and there. It'll be difficult to give the food, I agree. Rather than following it with the mobile phone, it will be difficult without that. But initially it will be difficult. But once it becomes a habit, it will be easy for the kid as well as for the parent. And the benefit of doing it in that way will be very much in the future. So that is one thing. And another thing I've commonly seen is my friends say that, suppose when we go for some house, to my close friend's house or someone's house, so the elders, they need to interact. So in that way, the child, if it is there, it will be disturbing. So what do they think? They give the mobile phone or the tab so that the child will be engrossed with the mobile phone. So that is another bad thing which the parents do. So in such cases, if they have kids in their house, make them play, or if they don't have, make your friends also interact with your children. And somehow if they get a good rapport, then automatically you will have the space to talk with your friends. So you have to make a environment feasible, or rather than feasible, friendly for the kids, so that it also interacts with the people whom you are going to talk. And what parents, what I would like to say is, whenever you come back home after your work, like once all cut off all the official calls, try to finish off everything before you reach home. Once you reach home, try to minimize the use of mobile phone for doing any text messages, and calls restrict minimum unless if it is an emergency. And in front of the kid, try to talk less, and try to text or see the mobiles less. So the less amount of time you spend in the mobile phone in front of your kid, then it will be easy for the kid to not use the mobile. So as I said before, you are the mirror for your kid. So you should be a first example for your kid. And that is one thing. And another thing is, as try to take your kid to a park nearby, or some evening walk in the evening. So in that way, the kid will be just seeing exposed into a natural environment, and he'll think that it is a routine. And once anything doesn't become a routine unless it is practiced for some time. Even if you start giving food or something in a different manner without giving mobile, initially the child will be crying or shouting. Doesn't matter. Don't think that only if you give phone it will be all right, and immediately don't jump into that. Let it cry. It will be there for 1 week and 2 weeks, and then after 3 weeks it will become a habit that it will try to take the food in whichever way you are giving it without the mobile phones. So that becomes a habit. So try to go into that way. So anything becomes a habit only if it is followed for few days, ideally more than 3 weeks. So try to impart on that, and try to take the kids, as I said, for the park or evening walk. It will help you in just having a good rapport with the kid, and also that closeness will be there for the kid when you do that. And slowly it will come out of the using the electronic gadgets. So now you can ask me, now the current scenario is with COVID. School going children are using the online classes. So they have to see the mobiles or laptops, and then the parents work from home. So how can we just go ahead, avoid the situation of using the mobiles or laptops at home? So I'll come to all these topics in my subsequent videos. So how we can, it is anyway unavoidable. We can't avoid online class, and we can't avoid work from home. So how can we move with that without causing much problems to the elders as well as to the kids. So we'll be discussing about that in the subsequent videos. And if you would like to talk about any specific, if you'd like to discuss or any specific topic which you feel that it is necessary, about which a limelight has to be brought or something to be discussed, just please feel free to just tell about those topics. We will just work on that, and we'll just put it in the subsequent videos. And any comments or suggestions about this, please share it in the comments, and we would be happy to know about that. Till then, be safe and strictly be no means no, especially for kids below 5 years. They don't need that. That's my personal opinion. And because there is no necessity that such children need the mobile phones in any aspect. So let's build the kids for the better future. Thank you.